Good morning, first graders. Today is Thursday, March 26th, and we will be reading chapters 13 and 14 of Rosie, Revere. Zayden commented below and thought that it was Iggy and Ada waiting for her, so let's see if she's right. As Rosie turned the corner, a strange droning sound filled the air. Then someone yelled, 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there was music. It was the McAllisters on the bed of a big old army truck right in front of Rosie's house. The droning sound was Hedgie on the bagpipes, and Betty played the pump organ, and Letty played the accordion. The ruckus riveters danced in the street in front of the truck. They twirled and swirled and jumped to the jive. Rosie's family and neighbors poured out of their houses and joined in the fun. The riveters all sang, "We can rivet, we can weld and hammer. We do it just fine, building ships and planes and trucks on the assembly line. We can do it, we can do it. Each and every one. We'll all do our part, right from the start until the job's done." Gizmo flew to Rosie, loop the loop, and zoomed back to the organ, where Aunt Rose's bird, Gadget, tweeted, along with the music. "Hey, hey," said Aunt Rose when Rosie reached the crowd. "We thought you could use a dance party." She tapped her cane along with the music. "How's it going?" she asked. "I'm stuck," said Rosie. "Dance it off," said Aunt Rose. "Show us some of your moves." The music was catchy, and before she knew it, Rose was tapping her foot, and then she was dancing. It was a right ruckus time for a few minutes. Rosie forgot all about the pump. Ada and Iggy came back with a wagon full of paint cans. They parked the wagon and danced on in. Each of the kids had their own dance moves. Before long, riveters were doing the skyscraper with Iggy, Ada taught them the molecule, and Rosie had everyone spinning around doing the gyroscope. Rosie had never heard of a trio like the McAllister sisters, especially the bagpipes. Hetty blew into the mouthpiece and filled the leather bag. Then she squeezed the bag with her arm. Each squeeze pushed air through the musical pipe. Her fingers danced over the holes and played a jumpy, jazzy tune. Letty stretched the accordion and sucked in the air. Then she squeezed it and pressed the keys to play notes. Betty stepped on the foot pedal of the organ, while her hands flew up and down the keyboard. Each instrument pumped in air and held it until a note was played. How did that work? Why didn't the air whoosh out of the instruments as soon as the pumping stopped? Something blocked the air from flowing backwards. These questions swirled like music in Rosie's mind. She didn't notice that she stopped dancing. She was thinking, and she was on to an answer. Then suddenly Rosie Revere knew exactly what she needed. A valve. For the next hour, the McAllisters played and sang, and Ada and Iggy and the crowd danced to the swinging music. No one even noticed that Rosie was gone. The music drifted to Rosie's backyard, where she worked furiously. She did not notice the faint snipping and clipping noises beyond the hedge that was keeping time with the music. Rosie was too busy smiling at the finished Paint-A-Palooza 3 to notice anything at all. So it wasn't Ada and Iggy waiting for her. It sounds like it was the Blue River Ruckus Riveters. Chapter 14. At 9 o'clock the next morning, Ada and Iggy showed up at Rosie's. They loaded the wagon and covered it with a sheet. They headed to the Blue River Creek Library. A dozen canvases surrounded the parking lot. Rosie found Aunt Rose, Boss, Marin, and the McAllisters in the corner. "Rosie," they cheered. "Ada, Iggy." Just then, Bernice arrived with a woman in a large, floppy hat with casts on her wrists. It had to be June. "Okay," said Bernice, "we're here." She took off June's hat. "Surprise!" yelled the riveters. June looked from face to face in shock. Why?" she said. "What's going on?" "It's Art a Go-Go time," said Boss. June was shocked. "But I have casts," she said, raising her arm. "The riveters wanted to surprise you," said Rosie. So, ta-da! Ada and Iggy pulled the sheet off the wagon. June looked baffled. "It's Paint-A-Palooza 9, said Rosie. It took a few tries, but I think we finally did it. June looked even more baffled, but she tried to hide it. Well, thank you, dear, she said. I always wanted one. What is it? She whispered to Aunt Rose. Boss shook her head. You goofball, these kids created an invention so you can paint with your arms instead of your hands. Tears welled up in June's eyes. She said softly, then stopped. A tear rolled down her cheek. Oh, you Riveter, she said, you are the best. And you three, she said to Rosie and her friends, I don't even know what. Her voice trailed off as she choked back tears. Boss cleared her throat loudly. That's enough mushy stuff, she said with a sniffle. You know I'm allergic to crying. It makes my eyes water. June and the Rivers burst into laughter. Then suddenly, squeak! A sharp squeal blasted over the loudspeakers. Attention, said the librarian. Are you ready for Art a Go-Go? Go, go, the crowd cheered. June dried her eyes with a sleeve and smiled. Yes, I am, she said, as she looked at Rosie, Ada, and Iggy. Thanks to you, she said, the librarian announced. This year's theme for Art a Go-Go competition is home. He blew his whistle again, and it was time to go-go. And that is it for our chapters today. I wonder what June is going to paint with the theme home. If you were in the Art a Go-Go competition, what would you draw? Draw me a picture and send it to me. Have a good day. Bye.